Hello and welcome back to the stars of your world. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after viewing things from the perspective of Darius, who is now having to host this strange being who he may or may not have inadvertently pulled from their world into this world, Vistella, or whatever it's called. And yeah, like we could see that he's giving vibes. He's giving the Tism vibes. But that just might be because he's an engineer or something else. But like, as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of giving like, you might be a little special. In a good way, I guess. We saw that he's very excited to basically learn more about this human, but also he has a very big undertaking that he kind of has to basically teach this person what's going on in the world, the whole the whole catastrophe that happened, how they ended up going from what could essentially be a normal human as we know us to being furries, to being your fursona. It's a weird thing to happen, actually. And I'm sure a lot of people would have liked that. I mean, maybe not the people getting mutated, but like a lot of people would have probably liked turning into animal people. But basically saying also that underneath it all, you are still technically human. You just have some mutations that now have added some animalistic traits to you, but you're all essentially a human. Also dropping the huge bomb that like, oh, it turns out that the god that was responsible for our planet is dead. He is also, or they are the ones that are currently entombed on the second moon, and they are the ones that are responsible for the mutations that turned us into what we are now. Also, the god of the sun is the one that is now taking care of us, and yeah, so like, okay. That's very strange. But anyways, suspension of disbelief. Anyways, so I guess without further ado, let us continue. Chapter 5. One Small Step for Man. 21/6/9/47. And so my Vistella survival crash course and quarantine period flew by without much of a hitch. It was relatively peaceful, all things considered. Nothing much really happened. I had way too much time and a day and didn't know what to do with it. Ended up just doodling and writing things down. I could definitely be in much worse hands. Recompiling things that I have learned here in the century. Kairos was in and out of my room pretty regularly, replacing my bandages and such. He isn't much of a conversationalist, but what little things he talks about are always practical. In compliance with Kairos' recommendations, I haven't been able to take a shower, so I am certainly looking forward to that. Cleaning with a wet cloth just doesn't compare to being able to soak myself head to toe. Man, when was the last time that I got a proper shower? 10 days ago? I am certainly not counting falling into a river as a shower. Kairos said that my wound is healing really fast, and I should be able to take them off once the quarantine is over, which is really weird because I don't think that deep lacerations should heal this quickly. I brought it up with Kairos and he doesn't seem to know what's going on either. And then there's Darius. Boy, things get a lot more interesting with Darius. The guy is basically a walking, breathing library. I swear he has knowledge of everything. Turns out the situation on Vistella is really complicated to say the least. A lot of politics and human conflicts, even during the Black Mud catastrophe. Turns out people were resentful of the Dawn Chasers not being able to fully kill the Krenobog, and of the Dawn Chasers that survived the crusade against the Krenobog were persecuted. How's that fair? The disguise tool that I am going to be using in the future is from this time period. People considered mutations to be impurities and used these to disguise themselves as pure humans. Crazy how humans on another planet still discriminate against one another even during a world-ending catastrophe. Ironically enough, these pure humans would find their newborns to be fully furry new humans. Serves them right, but also I should stop writing about purity feels icky. All people born after the catastrophe were fully animal people from the get-go actually. The sealing of the Krenobog and the creation of the second moon caused a lot of issues too. Apparently it kicked up a bunch of dust and created a nuclear winter type event. Global temperatures dropped, and a lot more people would have died if they hadn't tried to eat the new plant that popped up. We actually have a bunch growing right outside of the balcony, the purple vine flower thing. Also, there are dragons and dragon people. The dragons are basically elemental spirits or land guardians of some sort, and they can shapeshift. And the dragon people are humans who got blood from dragons to stabilize themselves and prevent further mutations from the Krenobog. And there were people who did the same thing with werebeasts. It gets complicated, but there was an entire section dedicated to this. We spent an entire day just listing off things that I could eat. Turns out a lot of fruits and animals on Earth are present here too, and humans. Darius theorizes that fursuit is responsible for both Earth and Vistella. Same origin of life, same life. It sounds plausible, and that's really the only way to explain how life can end up in such similar states across the galaxy. At least, I think it's the Milky Way. I hope so. Haven't got a proper look out yet from the window. Still, I wonder how they have gods and magic and we don't. Favoritism? Some sort of controlled experiment? Who knows? Fursuit is dead, so I can't even ask them, leaning towards the controlled experiment option. Maybe I can ask the sun god that Darius mentioned, Solirus god, Lord Sealy. Anyway, quite excited to finally get some outside air and leave this place, and try the disguise thingy too. Ironic how people use it to hide their animal traits, and now I'm using it to turn into an animal person. No ulterior motive there, hehe. Darius gave me some options and tips to make sure that the disguise really sells. It's an illusion in the end, so if anyone touches me or if the illusion strays away too far from my body shape, it's game over. So, desirable traits are short, no fur, short, no tail, no big ears, no horn antlers. Probably not simian, since we want to stay as far away from the whole pure human thing as possible. I know exactly what I want. We'll propose the idea to Darius later. Just as I finish my journal entry, I hear knocking at the door. I've grown so used to it that I can tell who it is right away. Can I click on that? Oh, I can. Oh, so it's... Oh, okay. The second the sound. Oh, so it's basically just the encyclopedia, whatever. Okay. Anyways, you can come in, big boy. The door gently swings open, and as expected, my favorite Vistellian wolf dog, Guy, strolls right in with a big old smile on his muzzle. 10 points for Antonio. I'm really glad that he has grown a lot more comfortable coming in and out of my room. Things have improved a lot compared to our first proper meeting. Long gone is the utterly horrified and stressed out Darius. We exchange our routine greetings as he makes his way to his sitting spot. The only thing out of the ordinary is his poor attempt at hiding something behind his back. His torso is massive though, so I can't really tell what it is, therefore making it a good attempt. Coming back so soon? It's been about 2 hours already, hasn't it? I turn to face the clock hanging just above my bedside table. It's such a recent addition to my room that I keep forgetting that it exists. He is right. It's been 2 hours since we last saw each other. 21:43. That would be a nightmare back on Earth. It's only early evening here. Dang, I was so occupied with my journaling that I didn't even notice. Looking back, I am met with a smile so radiant that it's almost blinding. The corners of his mouth are lifted so high that his eyes have to squint to accommodate. I can see imaginary sparkles emanating from him. It's awfully infectious to the point where I can't help but smile myself. You're looking awfully excited. I just can't wait. In just a few hours your quarantine period will be over. You can finally go outside. Isn't that so exhilarating? His tail thrashes behind him. Why do I feel like I'm not the only one excited about my release from quarantine? So, what you got behind you? My tail? His voice soars with a teasing tone. You know I'm not talking about that. Well, why don't you take a guess? Let me see here. My, how difficult. Could it be… I scratch my chin, pretending to really give it some thoughts. There were not too many things that he can hand me right now, especially since our last conversation was about the disguise thingamajig. The personal optical vial projector. Darius's grin somehow grows even wider as he presents a gold-trimmed wooden box, very fancy looking to say the least. Hee, why don't you open this box and see for yourself? Securing the box in my lap, I flip open the lid to see a spiraling band of gold resting on a bed of red velvet. Whoa, that is really expensive looking. It can disguise itself as something more inconspicuous once you activate it, if that's your worry. There are versions that can hide themselves entirely once activated, but they are illegal, so I couldn't get my hands on one. Oh, and please don't activate it yet. Once you set a disguise, it's permanent unless it resets. Oh, noted. Wouldn't know how to activate it anyway. I will tell you in just a moment. But first… He claps his giant hands together and gives me an expectant look. Have you decided on a form yet? Oh, yeah, I have a solid idea. Panda. You said that was an option. He nods, his right ear flopping about as he does. We have 2 other panda folk around town, Miss Liu and her son. Remember when Kairos took your measurements for clothes? Yeah. I asked Miss Liu to tailor some clothes for you. They're actually in the bathroom right now. Oh, really? Well, geez, thanks, Darius. You should be thanking Miss Liu instead. I usually get my clothes from her. There aren't many off-the-rack clothes that fit my size. He's tapping his index fingers together with an awkward smile. Cute. But also poor guy. Imagine having to tailor all your clothes. But anyway, when I got to Miss Liu, I realized that I forgotten to ask about your taste in clothes, and it would be rather awkward to just hand her a list of measurements with no further request, so I settled on just ordering one generic set of clothes that the locals wear. We'll probably be visiting her a lot in the future, if we want to give you a full wardrobe. Sounds like I should get her a fruit basket as thanks or something. But also, you don't really need to tailor my stuff to my taste. I'm not that picky about clothes, you know. Before landing on Vistella, I'd been mainly wearing anything clean that I could grab from the laundry. I wasn't really trying to impress anyone, and wasn't doing laundry either. Man, I was such a mess. Not saying that I'm not a mess right now, but with these 2 taking care of me, I am much more presentable mess. I want your time here to be as comfortable as possible, so I figured investing in some good quality clothes would be ideal. Damn, I feel like I'm just mooching off of them. I won't say no to your kindness, but let me do more chores around the house after this at least, yeah? Like sweeping, laundry, washing the dishes, anything. I'm not comfortable just sitting around and letting you guys do all the work. That really isn't necessary. It's not much work, really. I insist. Please? Well… Darius awkwardly scratches the back of his neck. If that's what you want, then can we wait until you're fully healed and rested up? I give him a firm nod. I will speak to Kairos about it. He usually handles most of the chores around here, but I believe that we are getting off topic. Yeah. So, do you have a solid image of what your disguise will look like? Yep, it's just me, but Panda, really. Drew it and everything. I wave my journal around in the air. Ooh, may I see? Instinctively, I pull away, but then realize that if the form looks wonky to the people here, my disguise will be busted right away. Then Darius will have to reset the veil projector. I don't know how much effort that would take, but I would rather he do not more work for me. So reluctantly, I flip the journal to the sketch and hand it to him. The moment that he has a firm hold of the journal, I immediately turn away, choosing to look at the clock on the wall instead of his reaction to seeing my fucking fursona. This is so fucking childish. The only reason that I chose a panda is because my Sona was 1. Now that I've given it some proper thought, it's really, and I mean really fucking cringe. What do you mean your permanent disguise is just your fucking fursona? This is so embarrassing. This looks great. Huh? Huh? Turning back, I am greeted with the signature Darius smile, no hint of malice or judgment. I think that this will suffice. Nothing that would draw any attention. No one could tell a thing. He hands the journal back, and I snatch it the moment that it touches my hands. And your artistic skill is great. You could totally be a namekeeper for our town. My ears feel hot again. Are you okay, Antonio? No, I'm fine. Sorry, I'm just not used to showing people my drawings in real life. Let's move on, yeah? My voice cracked. Fuck. Okay, now that we have a proper form in mind, let me instruct you on how to activate the veil. I nod. First, you will need to wear the bangle on your body. This one is designed to be worn on your upper arm. Most people won't see that area, especially with how many layers we wear around here. Once you have put it on, you will have to perform an initial setup. He then leans in and points at the centerpiece. So you can see the bezel there. That's the actual veil projector. The metallic band is only there so that the projector itself can be worn. Damage to it won't compromise the projector. The projector is composed of two parts, a fixed core and an outer ring that can be rotated. You'll see that there is a little indentation on the ring to indicate where it is currently pointing, and another on the core to show where the ring should be rotated to activate the projector. Squeezing the outer ring will unlock, allowing you to rotate it. Once the two indentations light up, you won't be able to rotate any further. Release your fingers and the projector will activate. The first activation is referred to as the initial setup, where you can set the glamour you desire. Then close your eyes and imagine the form that you desire. It is unnecessary, but I have heard that it makes the process easier on your brain. Give it a solid 3 minutes at the very least. Make sure to imagine every detail. Then you may open your eyes to check and adjust accordingly. Once you're satisfied, rotate the ring back to deactivate the projector. This will set the glamour permanently. Give the projector a moment to rest, then re-engage it. And now your veil projector is ready for further use. Simply rotate the ring to activate and deactivate according to your needs. I nod along to his explanation. Gotcha. Doesn't sound too complicated. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it right away. By the way, does this thing need a battery or recharging? I really don't want to turn back into little old me in the middle of the streets or something. Oh, please don't worry about that. Projectors use very little energy, and this model comes with a self-recharging mana battery. In most ordinary circumstances, it should be able to remain activated 36, so like 24/7. Still, I would recommend deactivating it when we are in private. These batteries degrade quickly if it is not allowed downtime. While I have the funds to replace it, self-recharging mana batteries can be difficult to obtain due to high demand. Maybe I should order a few just in case. Turn it off when not needed. Noted. Neat. What about the extraordinary circumstances though? Darius scratches his chin. You'd have to be in the area with next to no usable environmental mana. Normally these should be battlefields or mana-dead zones. Even mana-poor zones should be able to sustain the projector. I don't see us being in those scenarios, but simply being in them won't outright render the projector useless. It should be able to run for a day or so until the battery fully dies. That's a relief then. Now that I think about it, that translation ruby or whatever is always active whenever we have to talk. I wonder if it runs on the same kind of battery. By the way, Darius. His ears perk up for a moment before flopping down again. Does our translation device run on the same self-recharging mana battery? Indeed. You caught on rather quickly. You flatter me. But yes, they run on the same battery, but the translator takes more mana that it can recharge passively once there are more than 2 participants in a conversation, or if the range of the translation field is too big. Darius suddenly taps his palm with the bottom of his fist. Oh, did you know? There are also bigger translation field generators that can handle thousands of people speaking at once, but they need a lot of energy and definitely cannot be worn around on your person. How big are those? Around the size of our house. Jeez. But there are smaller variants, of course. As we speak, I have been fiddling around with the wooden box on my lap, moving it closer, tilting it to the side, rotating it, all to get a proper look at the golden bangle, resting inside. I think Darius notices this, as he then asks a question. Would you like to try it out? The veil projector, I mean. Can I? I thought that we were waiting for the quarantine to end. It will be yours for the foreseeable future, so I don't see why not. Besides, The 6-day period isn't a magical number or anything. You appear to be physically fine 5.8 days in, so I'm sure that you will be fine when the quarantine officially ends in a few hours. True. I'm gonna take a closer look then. With a nod from Darius and some hesitation from me, I wipe my fingers on my pants before slowly removing the bangle from its bed of velvet. As I lift it to meet my eye level, its spiraling form gleams under the white electric light. God, it looks so expensive. I don't even want to leave my fingerprint on it, but I guess it's too late for that now. The main projector and the bangle flow seamlessly into one another, no signs of welding, rivets, or solder. Tilting my head, I focus on the projector itself. Just as Darius said, it's composed of 2 parts. The core is capped with a transparent gem dome, revealing intricate patterns carved onto the surface underneath. They look like circuits of some kind, but more organic, like veins or leaf stems. The lines curve and flow into one another in a way that feels almost decorative. If I had to sum it up quickly, I would say that this is something that came right out of an Art Nouveau-themed photo shoot. Only slightly less decorated is the outer ring around the core. It is somewhat thicker than the gem dome, tapering towards its outer edges. Squinting my eyes, I notice that the runic pattern on the ring should line up with the core once rotated, by how much it's indicated by a small indentation near the rim. It's just deep enough to guide the fingertip when not looking. Following Darius's instructions, I try to give the smooth, rounded edge of the ring a gentle squeeze. Something shifts internally. I feel a subtle give beneath my fingers as the ring depresses inward. Once I release my grip, it snaps back into place with an almost inaudible click. I lower the projector to my lap with an exhale. I'm so nervous about dropping this thing or getting it wet. Oh, you need not worry. The projector itself is very resilient to damage and most ordinary environmental hazards. As long as you aren't caught in an explosion or anything, it should survive. And in that scenario, we would have more immediate concerns. That does make me feel a bit relieved. I fiddle around with the bangle some more, rotating it, feeling the smooth metallic form with my fingertips, not even observing it for more details anymore, just touching and sensing. I could probably just put it on right now, but something is holding me back. I said that I felt relieved, but am I really? Maybe it's about its durability, but not the disguise in general. I basically have to live with this thing on for the rest of my life. Who knows what will happen to me once someone other than my hosts sees me without it. I guess it isn't all that different from how my life was back on Earth, having to mask myself and be someone that I'm not so I won't stand out, just for a chance of having a normal life. This time, I will have to wear an actual illusionary mask. But will the people of this world still know? Difference isn't just some surface level thing, it is rooted in your soul, burrowing within you from the moment of your birth. The way you act, the way you move, the way you exist. Their gaze can discern it. The people piercing through any disguise you put up, they can tell, they will tell, and once they do, you will be boxed and shunned in unseen ways that even they themselves may not notice. I shut my eyes forcefully, trying to shake away the forming thoughts. I don't know why, but when I open my eyes again, they flick up to Darius, who has been watching me. When our eyes meet, he tenses up for a brief moment before relaxing. The big lad then flashes me his signature awkward grin before looking off to the side. His presence has been quite comforting in this confusing mess that I found myself in. Whenever an issue popped up, I could just go off to him for answers. He always brings up some disclaimer about how he may not be fully knowledgeable on a topic, or that he may be biased before giving the most detailed, passionate lectures that I have ever heard. And on the rare occasions that he really doesn't know something, he just excuses himself and apologizes. It's not really a bad thing, not at all. If anything, that makes me trust him a lot more than if he were talking out of his ass with absolute certainty in his voice. It feels nice to have such a pillar to lean on amidst all this uncertainty, and that's not even taking into consideration how much money he's spending on me. Exhibit 1, the veil projector. This thing just radiates opulence. If I don't wear it, it would be a major waste, wouldn't it? Never been a fan of jewelry, but maybe this will change my mind. I smile, fiddling with the golden bangle in my hands. There is really no point in delaying things further, is there? The universe quite literally gave me a second chance to life. I don't want to waste this chance wallowing in my feelings just like back then. Shrug it off and move on. I will learn to live, surely. I guess we're doing this. Oh, are you? Yep, may as well. Here, hold this for me for a bit. I hand him the wooden box with the projector in it. He then stands up and moves away, giving me some space to get up myself. Should we call Kairos for this? Not saying that I don't trust your eyes, but maybe it's better to have a second opinion. No offense taken. Calling him is always an option. He then tilts his head in the direction of the hanging cord next to my bed. Haven't got many chances to use it, so may as well give it a go. Reaching out, I give the cord a few firm tugs, which causes a distant but still audible bell to go off somewhere downstairs. And in an absurdly short amount of time, none other than Kairos appeared right outside my room. Darius doesn't seem to be surprised by this though. Were you standing right outside or something? No, I was cooking downstairs. Okay. As indicated by a lack of yelling or fighting, I assume that this is a non-emergency. Yeah. Antonio decided that he's going to use a veil projector for the first time. Did he now? Yeah, and I figured having another pair of eyes to spot mistakes would be helpful. Very well. Shall we do it now? Might as well, right? I will probably need to use the bathroom mirror. Kairos nods before walking off down the hall. Darius then hands the wooden box back to me. How are you feeling? A tad nervous but excited too. I can finally get out and stretch my legs. Talking of walking around, Kai sure is fast, huh? I didn't hear him walking up here at all. That's just how he is. If you call, he'll be there right away. We exchanged brief smiles before making our way to the bathroom, where Kairos is already waiting. I yawn, rubbing my eyes as I walk into the bathroom with the box in hand. Goddamn, I just realized that I haven't slept all over the past day or so. Hours spent either writing, sketching, or just staring off into the distant skies. I guess I was more excited to go outside than I thought. I place the box on the sink and take a good look in the mirror. Well, would you look at that? It's me. Looking a lot less shabby now, I would say. Less corpse-like. Under the brown dye, my black roots are beginning to show. It's not a bad look, kinda digging the contrast. Leaning in, I rub my stubby chin. Maybe I could purposefully cultivate a proper beard instead of letting it run wild, like some sort of weed on my face. Definitely keeping the mustache at least. It's part of my signature me look. I wonder what kind of razors they use here. Well, I don't know if they even have facial hair, but I can't imagine that they wouldn't have some kind of fur care tool. I remove my robe, letting it hang. A lone set of clothes sits amidst the folded towels on the same rack. Guessing this is what Darius was talking about. I'll give them a try after. Returning to the sink, I unlatch the box and remove the veil projector. Hope it doesn't explode in my face or something. Darius never said anything about such a possibility, but it would be a funnily morbid way to go out. Activate the thing and it just blows up. But I trust Darius more than my imagination about the tech of this world, so... I slide the bangle on, feeling the cool metallic surface right up my skin until it is sat all nice and snug around my bicep. I rotate it around until the projector faces away from my torso. And this is it. Repeating the same motion from earlier, I give the outer ring a squeeze, and it gives under my fingers with a click. I don't turn the ring right away, instead choosing to take a deep breath and recall Darius's instructions. First, rotate the ring. It moves smoothly until it hits some sort of internal mechanical stop. Both the indentations on the outer ring and the internal core now match up. Second, release the ring. It clicks into position as expected. Soon a subtle humming, not present during my initial observations, can be heard. Colors and lights dance across the projector's surface. From the core's outer rim, they converge towards the center before spreading out equally over organic lines on the core's circuitry. Taking this as my cue, I shut my eyes. Third, imagine the form that I desire. I didn't exactly have a lot of options. No changing body types. Keep the shapes relatively similar. I visualized the image of a panda person, every possible detail of my fursona. Ears, fur, beans. I purse my lips, trying to stifle a laugh. It's so fucking cringe that I have to put some effort into resisting the swelling sensation in my chest. I mean, who wouldn't take the opportunity to become their Sona? But this is just too much to bear. To Panda Bear. I ended up laughing after all. Oh boy, oh boy. I sure hope that I didn't ruin the glamour somehow. I wonder what those two are thinking, hearing me laugh like a deranged person. After giving the projector some time to do its magic, I wiped tears off my face and opened my eyes. What I'm greeted with is something that I never thought was possible. My fursona in the flesh. I reach up and touch my cheek. My hand passes right through the white fur, but its reflection in the mirror parts and shifts under my touch. I pinch my cheek. It hurts, but the panda bear in the mirror does the same, wincing as I do. This is utterly absurd. Is this seriously my body? The round panda ears in the mirror jiggle back and forth as I wiggle them around, but air is all that I feel between my fingers. Actually, hold on. I flip my hands around to see my palms. Paw pads, beans, illusionary ones. But beans regardless, and claws too. I actually haven't seen what Darius and Kairos have under their gloves, but they told me that they do have claws. I wonder. I focus on the image of one of my claws turning into human nails. When I open my eyes, there it is, a nail on my index finger while the others remain claws. It's insanely weird looking. I close my eyes again, focusing on bringing back the claw. Thankfully, it does reappear. Surprisingly, the stitches on my stomach does appear in the illusion, and the surrounding area is missing some fur to reflect the damage. On my left wrist, the numerous pale scars blend in with the surrounding white fur. Turning around, I try to check on something. No tail. Wait, is it? I pulled the back of my pants down a little, and I'm greeted with a tiny stub of a black fur. Fun. I try shaking my butt, and the tail jiggles as I do. Might be enjoying this too much. What's next? A wave of curiosity sweeps over me. I doubt anyone other than me will ever get to see it, but I just got to make sure. Like, we gotta be thorough, right? If someone ever gets close enough to see it, my disguise would be busted, but just in case, right? I let my pants drop to the floor and look down. Yep, those sure are my... Wow, I'm sure people would pay for this experience, but here I am getting it for free. I think that looks... fine. I suppose. No, this is basically my only chance, so may as well make sure that everything is spotless. Just gotta lift that a bit, change the color around there, and... Good enough. I pull my pants back up and let the band snap back around my waist. I turn the faucet lever slightly to the left before turning it on. The fur reacts accordingly as it gets soaked in warm water. Really wonder how it all works. It's only a visual illusion, so maybe. Alright, so that should be everything. I can't spot anything off. I decide to forego the robe for now and go greet the other two bare-chested. They've already seen me naked as the day that I was born, so no real reason to get embarrassed. Knocking on the door from inside, I speak out to them. Oi! Yes? Did it work? His voice is all muffled despite him standing right outside. Man, the soundproofing around here is good. Oh, it's working alright. I'm gonna come out now, so make way, yeah? Kay. I step outside where Darius and Kairos were waiting. Upon seeing my new form, Darius looked stunned. His smile drops before he quickly turns to face down the corridor. Kairos' expression remains unchanged as always. Oh, I wasn't quite expecting you to be shirtless. Oh yeah, I figured that it would be easier to do a full body scan, and I haven't been effectively shirtless for the past week, anyway. Well, it's different. You can look. It's fine. After some hesitation, Darius finally turns to face me, but his eyes still quickly dart away sometimes. Guessing he still feels embarrassed about the whole seeing me naked thing, huh? While Darius struggles to even look at me straight, Kairos is spending his time studying my new form. So, what'd you think? I give them a spin. I knew this kind of glamour existed, but I never had the chance to observe it up close. At a glance, there is really no difference between you and the average person at all. May I borrow your arm for a moment? I hold it out for him. He holds it with his gloved hand, observing the way that the illusionary fur moves with each movement of his fingers. Darius, do you see the fur moving? Yeah. I see it moving. Good. I just want to make sure that the glamour is consistent. Then he walks around me, inspecting my new form in detail. So, are you feeling okay? No discomfort or anything, I hope? Oh, nah, I'm fine, just... My hand barely reached my mouth as I let out a huge yawn. A bit sleepy. Now that I think about it, I wonder if these teeth are fine. I can't quite recall what panda teeth look like on the top of my head. The only things that I can recall are the vague memory of a 16-year-old me researching pandas before drawing my persona. By the way, do you think these teeth look normal, or are they too human? I give the best cheese I can muster. Oh, they do look perfectly fine as it is. If you didn't notice, our teeth are relatively old human-like regardless of our morph. The image of a horse person with human teeth flashes in my mind. Maybe they will be less creepy in real life. Darius and Kairos said that they look fine, so I don't see why they wouldn't. Here, let me. He gives me a big old grin, stretching the corners of his mouth with his fingers to give me a good internal view. Other than some extra teeth, sharpness, and pronounced canines, they are pretty human-looking. I see. By the way, did you guys hear anything when I was in there? Nothing much, but you did sound quite delighted for a moment. That's embarrassing. Yeah, I just thought of something funny. Ignore it. Well, if you say so. Kai finally finishes his examination and returns to Darius' side. So? This is sufficient. I don't see any issue. Darius? I don't spot anything either. You'd fit right in, Antonio. Well, thank the gods or whatever. Really thought that I would fuck it up. Darius shakes his head. I knew that you would do a good job the second that you showed me that turnaround. It was a really impressive artistic feat. I don't think that I could ever draw something like that. Well, now you're just flattering me. I don't dare. I only am stating my own observation. Again, with a complete lack of insincerity in his tone. Well, it does feel nice to receive compliments, so... Thanks, big boy. I said, looking off to the side. Anyway, I guess if there is no problem, then should I just lock it in? I don't see any reason not to. Alright then, guess I might just go look in the mirror for a bit first, just to make sure. I head back inside, shutting the door behind me. I gaze at the panda in the mirror. He looks back at me. I think you will do just fine. I smile. He smiles too. Recalling Darius' instructions with the setup, I rotate the ring back to its initial position, shutting off the veil projector. As the lights fade from the runes, the panda in the mirror ripples like waves on a lake before fading away, and I am greeted by my ordinary human self once more. Then let it rest for a bit. I take the opportunity to put on my new outfit that they got for me, a long collared shirt, a giant coat with a detachable hood, gloves, and long pants, probably to prevent my skin from being exposed. The hood has little pockets for ears. It's really cute, actually. I guess you can lose a lot of heat if your ears are exposed to the cold all the time. Now it serves as a neat little disguise. I step back outside, presenting myself. Ta-da! Oh! How do I look? You look amazing. Ah well, for the purpose of your disguise, no different than from a random person. Darius does a little clap and Kai just does his signature nod of affirmation. Well then, shall we proceed? With what? Kai takes off his right glove, then presents his hand. I can't help but notice that it is covered in scars. Entire patches of fur are missing. Oh? With the handshake, I sanitized my hands and gloves before this, so do not worry. Ah, no, that wasn't what I was thinking about. I take his offer, shaking his hand. There is a firmness to his grip and a roughness to his paw pads, but these qualities aren't enough to make this an uncomfortable experience. I can clearly tell that he's hardly putting any strength behind the shake. He's just naturally this strong. Remember, this is only a visual glamour, so don't make physical contact with people other than us with your bare skin once you're out. Right. Instead of putting the glove back on, he opts to put it in his pants pocket. And consider your quarantine ended. The phrase hits me so suddenly that I don't have time to formulate any thoughts. I knew my quarantine was coming to an end, but I was expecting it to happen after I woke up tomorrow or something. Huh? Now? Yes, a bit early, but you are free to walk around from now on. Welcome to Vistella. Yay! Congrats, Antonio. Would you like a house tour? We can go right now. How about tomorrow? I'm actually pretty tired. I kinda stayed awake all night from all the excitement. Oh, that's fine too. But I won't say no to a tour of the balcony. I do want to take a good look at the night sky before I go to sleep. Of course, follow me please. We walk down the hall until we reach a branchy corridor with a lone door at the end of it. This is one of the entrances to the balcony. The second door in your room is one too, but I figured that this is closer. We should give you a keychain of your own too, since you're pretty much a resident for the time being. He's right. I'm living here right now on this planet as one of its inhabitants. That's strangely comforting. Even on an alien planet where I know no one other than these two, I still have a place to return to, a home. I catch myself smiling like a dork. That would be nice, yeah. Oh, maybe you can visit the town with us tomorrow. We can walk around a bit while I get some blank keys. Sounds like a plan. As Darius and I make our way to the balcony door, we notice Kairos is breaking off from us. Are you not coming with us? I will come check in a moment. I still have a casserole to look after. Besides, I trust your judgment and abilities, Darius. I'm sure that I won't be needed for something as trivial as this. But if you need anything, just call my name. I will be there in an instant. Like always. Indeed. Kai then turns to look at me. Stay safe, and please do not break into a sprint suddenly. I'm not gonna just run off. That would be appreciated. Since when was he able to joke? As Kairos' white tip-tail disappears down the hall, Darius and I are left alone standing in this corridor. Are you ready? First time stepping a foot onto an alien world. One small step for man. My hand lingers on the handle. With a deep breath, I exhale all hesitation from my mind and pull. Cold floods the corridor, chasing away any warmth present. You're right. That is chilly. Even with all the layers and mental prep, I wasn't quite prepared enough for the sudden temperature drop. My body begins to shiver. Oh, are you alright? Yeah, just a bit chilly. Do I wish I had some actual non-illusionary fur? I push forward beyond the threshold and step into an entirely new world. A world that I have only been able to observe through a glass window for the past week. And one giant leap for mankind. I feel the cold air on my skin and in my lungs. My shoes click and tap against the tiled floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, until I stand smack dab in the middle of the balcony, fully exposed to the night sky. Something in my heart calls me upward, a primal calling that I can't refuse. So skyward I gaze. It's hard to describe what lies above me. Not because it's foreign or alien, but because it's something that I'm too acquainted with. It shouldn't be hard to describe. I know what this is. I have seen it already through the window of my new bedroom. But seeing it like this, a familiar river of light stretching across the dark canvas above. The words just don't come to me. I'm not quite sure how I feel at the moment in time. There are so many thoughts just speeding by that they all seem to blur. Mommy, what's that? That is called the Milky Way, dear. But among the blurriness, there is one thing that I can pinpoint for sure. A familiar sensation of weightlessness, as if gravity could untether at any moment's notice and send me flying into the infinite space above. It's suffocating. I try to hang on to the air in my lungs, but it escapes me too quickly to reclaim. My lips quiver, nails digging into my palm. My knees buckle before finally giving out beneath me. I was fully ready to surrender to the loss of gravity before I feel an arm bracing me from behind. Antonio! Hey, are you okay? Let's get you inside. I feel him trying to help me up, his large arm wrapping around my chest, gently tugging me from under my armpit. No, please. It's fine. I'm fine. I wasn't expecting it to hit me so hard. Can you, help me lie down? I want to keep looking. His worried eyes widen before he nods. You probably shouldn't lie down on the ground. Your hair is gonna get all dirty. You can, lie on my thighs if you want. That would be nice, yeah. Thank you. Darius sits down, all the while making sure that I won't fall over like a little baby lamb. I lie down, resting the back of my head on his thighs as I gaze upward to the river of stars stretching across the night sky. The Milky Way galaxy is still there. I'm still in Earth's cosmic neighborhood. Antonio, how are you feeling? I feel better now, thanks. That was kind of dramatic. Sorry about that. It is quite alright. Your health is my top priority right now. You don't feel difficulty breathing or anything, yeah? Yeah, nothing like that. I just had a moment looking up at the galaxy. Do you think that this is your home galaxy? Yeah, I think so. It looks familiar enough. Look, there. As I point, we both look up at a streak of pink light. That must be your family's comet. Yes, it is. I should give it a big thank you then. Huh? Why? Without it, I would probably be washed up on a riverbank somewhere. But enough with the gloomy stuff. Over there. I can see his expression shift before looking back up towards where I'm pointing. The Andromeda Galaxy. Andromeda, huh? That's a pretty name. Why is it called that? It belongs to a constellation of the same name, and the constellation is named after this mythical princess who got chained to a rock to be eaten by a monster. It is this whole story, but maybe another day. I don't think that I'm in a storytelling mood. I will look forward to it. What do you call it then? Oh, we call it Nyavadi, meaning molded disc. Supposedly the ancient people thought that it looked like a disc being pinched and stretched. I can see that. Then what about our galaxy? The Milky Way. I hear Darius repeat it back to me in English. I cannot but snort at the way that he said such a normal name with such wonder, as if he were reciting a spell or something. Is something wrong? Nah, no, sorry. But yeah, Milky Way. I repeat the name, making sure that it won't be flagged as a proper noun. According to myths, this Greek hero Heracles bit onto the goddess Hera's nipple too hard while breastfeeding him, so she pushed him away in pain, causing her milk to spill over the sky and form a streak of white, thus a Milky Way. Whoa. I assume Heracles is her son, since it seems like his name originated from hers? Hera? Heracles? Ah, no. You see, her husband, this god named Zeus, had an affair with a mortal woman and got her pregnant. So to appease Hera, they named him Heracles, or the glory of Hera. Did it work? Nah, I think it made her more pissed off than anything. Our myths are very messy to say the least. I do remember you looked quite shocked when I told you about our gods, and yet you'd speak about yours with such vivid detail. How come? Well, to me they are just cool stories, myths. Every culture and religion has their own gods or god, and people fought a lot over which ones are real or if they were real at all. So when you spoke with such certainty about the realness of your gods, I was, a bit shaken. Sorry if this is offensive or anything. It's quite alright. I'm not really devoted to any god, and it's healthy to keep a certain level of skepticism when dealing with new information. Even Lord Sealy agrees. The god of Solirus? He was the one who taught us to build our power plants. Whoa, like For free? No tribute or sacrifice or anything? Darius chuckles, covering his mouth while he does. It's so strange seeing this big wolf dog guy laugh so genuinely. No, nothing like that. According to records, the process was very cryptic. Took about 200 years just to figure out what he was saying. Dang, wish ours were that generous. Didn't say a dang thing even when wars broke out. So hey, you have records, huh? Like legit stuff, not just one guy crediting a god out of reverence? I can't help but feel a bit skeptical when it comes to records about religious stuff. He did say it's fine. It is quite possible that someone's work got written over and credited to a god, but the technology used to create sustainable nuclear fusion was much too far from our grasp at that point. My brow raises at the way that he just casually mentions nuclear fusion. Not only that, there are very clear credits given to the people involved in decoding Seely's instructions and building the first power plant as well. Wow, didn't know a god could be so good with crediting people. Lord Seely has always rooted for scientific development. Wait, did the concept of nuclear fusion translate just now? Yeah, how stars make light and such. We have some reactors, but none of them can generate enough energy to offset the energy needed to run them. See, your technology is so sophisticated and advanced, yet your nuclear fusion reactors aren't even energy efficient yet. The second half of that sentence makes the entire thing feel a bit backhanded, but that look in his eyes tells me that his intentions are genuine. I don't think that we could have been able to create such things a few hundred years after a global catastrophe if we didn't have any guidance. Besides, if you're lucky, you may even be able to communicate with Lord Seely and confirm for yourself. Really? Yeah. But you can only do so if you visit one of his temples, which doubles as a fusion reactor. Or you could try to get into contact with one of his priests, who are usually busy managing said temples and reactors. And even after all that, you may just get silence. Sounds like you had some experience. I tried to communicate with Seely once, out of curiosity. The big guy rubs the fur of his neck. Did you get anything useful? Not quite. It's pretty vague dialogue. We spoke about my reason for being here, technology and history. He did tell me why he was instructing us. Do you recall why? To quote, Darius's voice shifts to a somber and low tone. For you, the children of Vistella, have the potential to soar beyond my embrace, beyond our venerable parents' cradle, yet you possess an equal potential to snuff yourself out with internal conflict. My sole duty is to help you see the potential paths that you can take and give you helpful nudges. Once the time comes, whether you plummet or soar shall be beyond me. That's a lot to take in. Seems like the gods of this world are benevolent at least. They do seem to be distant or held back by something though, but that just caused an idea to pop into mind. Can I propose some potential sacrilegious ideas? Am I going to be struck down for this? I don't think that you're going to be punished for curiosity. Our deities aren't really known to interfere with things directly. Okay, I'm trusting you then. What if the gods are an alien race with a really powerful tech or magic? Darius scratches his chin, tilting his head towards the distant skies. It is certainly a possibility. Some people have proposed this theory before. But how much difference would that really make? Wouldn't it? The Black God snuffed out 90% of human population at the time of its descent and could only be defeated after the other gods stepped in. Lord Seely helped us get back to our feet and gave us access to technology that would take us hundreds if not thousands of years to figure out. That is not even taking into account their unimaginable feats in folklore. Even if it's mere advanced tech or magic we do not have access to, the scale of things that they are capable of is still much beyond us. They would still be gods to us, in all but name. If anything, I think it's reassuring. Why so? That means that one day we may be able to just catch up with them. We can end hunger and illness. So many people's lives can be bettered. Is that not a good thing? I suppose that is true. Oh, and by the by. I don't think that I caught what you call that. I point at the milky band of light stretching overhead. Our galaxy. Skrepsa Richalna, or Silver River. Would you like to hear a story about how that name originated? All ears, my guy. Darius clears his throat and puts on a voice. Once upon a time, there was a child all alone in the sky. The child was so lonely that they could only cry, so they cried. Days turned to years, turned to decades, turned to millennia. The silver tears that they shed turned into sparkling stars, converging into a beautiful river teeming with life and stories. Hearing their laughter and conversations of the people below, the child realized that they were alone no longer. Poor child. If I were that child, I think that I would still feel lonely. Why so? Like, I have too much power. If my tears could turn into stars, imagine what it would do just by dipping my finger into the river. I would never be able to just submerge myself into the people's lives and stories. It is a valid interpretation. I wouldn't want to be burdened with so much power either. We seemingly reached a silent, unanimous decision to stop talking and gaze up at the wonder above us. This feels nice. I've gotten used to the temperature by now. The evening air brushes against my skin and rushes through the nearby foliage. While Darius isn't looking, I take the opportunity to check something, pulling up my sleeve to express my illusionary fur to the world. It's short and fuzzy, but I still see the strands shift and dance in the wind. Good to know my fur reacts to the environment. Satisfied, I shut my eyes. Chirping. I hear a familiar chirping noise around us. Crickets. I think that I heard it back when I visited Mom's hometown. Her childhood house was a bit cramped, but it did have a big yard and pig pen, plenty of bushes and trees around for all kinds of bugs to gather. My cousins would often invite me to go catch some. I remember the first time holding a cricket in my hand. Long, spindly black legs, antennas and all kinds of weird limbs my little kid brain couldn't understand. But I felt sad I just kidnapped this thing, so I let it go. Maybe that's where my passion for photography started, little me wanting to inspect a bug for just a moment longer. Those were the most peaceful times of my life, just being a little kid without a care in the world. Too bad that there is no going back now. Hey. Are you sleepy? Realizing that I nearly fell asleep in the lap of someone that I've only known for a week, I immediately sit upright. Oh, sorry. It's, a bit cold, so I almost went into hibernation. Yep, laugh it off. Oh, do you hibernate in winter? I can feel my cheeks burn as I wave my hands around frantically. Oh no, wait, no. It was just a joke about how the cold made me sleepy. Darius just chuckles at me humiliating myself, and as usual, I do not sense even a sliver of mean spirit in him. Okay, understood. And you were awake for the entire day too, so I wouldn't blame you one bit. Yep, I was so excited that I couldn't get any proper sleep. I must look like a complete clown right now. Why am I being so weird? You look all lively and awake now. I'm glad that being outside didn't have any immediate adverse effects. Yeah, sorry for, falling onto your knees back there. Must have given you a big fright, huh? It's quite alright. I was just worried is all. Fuck. If I wasn't bright red right now, I'm sure I am now. I rubbed the back of my neck, avoiding his gaze. You think Kairos would scold me for this? For what? You know, lying down and getting my clothes dirty. No, he would be more worried about you getting sick, I think. Right. Speaking of, where is Kairos? I thought he would have been up here by now. Did you call? Yeah. The cat's sudden voice nearly made me jump out of my skin. I spun around to see him just a few steps behind us. Jeez, how long have you been there? A bit. How long is a bit? A while. And since when did you have a sense of humor? Always had one. I give him a slight indignant look. Let's just get inside. It's getting cold anyway. I'm probably red as a tomato. It would be genuinely so embarrassing if I didn't have this disguise on right now. Good idea. Let's get you back to your room. Yeah. We make our way back to my new long-term bedroom. Turning on the lights, I see a set of neatly folded clothes sitting on my bed. That's... At the bottom of the pile is something red. It is a very recognizable, worn shade of red. I figured that it's an appropriate time to return your old clothes. Took a bit more time to repair than I thought, so I apologize. No, that's fine. Thank you. Good night, Tony. Good night, Kai. Kai gives me his usual polite bow before walking off. Looks like you can use your bedroom again. We'll be floor mates. Floor mates? I like that idea. Hee. There will be plenty to do tomorrow, so I hope that you get some quality, restful sleep. We could also just do nothing and just stay home. It's your choice. Well, I certainly would like to walk around the premises at the very least. He nods. We have nothing but time, so rest easy. Good night, Darius. Nighty-night, Antonio. We wave at each other as Darius makes his way downstairs. Nighty-night, huh? Cute. Really didn't think that I would hear those words coming out of the mouth of a big, burly wolf dog guy. I take off my brand new outfit and hang it up in my own wardrobe. No one will be bothering me a bit, so I decide to just flop down in the bed, naked, tilting my head to the side. I see that shade of red again. The shade that was supposed to draw attention to my washed-up body now sits quietly next to me in a comfy bedroom. Is this some sort of divine irony? I decide to stay like this for now, naked like the day that I was born. In the future, there won't be much opportunity to feel the air on my bare skin, with how I basically have to cover up every bit of it. So let's take it in now, while no one bothers me. I hear the waves. To be continued. So that is the end of what is currently available for the build, I guess. We got to see Antonio's fursona, a panda. And again, a lot of people would probably be like overjoyed to be able to step into their fursona. And arguably, this is probably like a... Well, I mean, it probably would be sort of like a little bit of a step above having a fursuit. Although with the fursuit, you still get the tactile response of having the fur that people can touch. Basically the carpet that you wear. But with this one, at least, you can sort of mold it how you see it, instead of relying on somebody to make it for you and then hoping that it kind of fits with what you think is your persona. With this one, you actually get to visualize it and then have it over you without, the threat of overheating. Also, we saw that apparently this planet is still in the Milky Way as far as they can tell. I'm curious if it's still within like the same, like near the same arm of the Milky Way that we are, or like what? What else? There's similarities shared between this world and Earth, which would be, I guess, our world. Could it be that they're somehow related, or it's just how the possibility that maybe life somehow evolved the same way on this planet that it did on that one, which I think is called convergent evolution or something, I don't know, where things sort of evolve the same way, but not really. I mean, this planet has space gods. Ours doesn't really, as far as we know. But yeah, like, basically, fursuit acquired. And Darius and Antonio are getting very close, apparently. Which, a little too close for my comfort. Like, you guys are moving... I mean, they're not really moving that fast, but like, you guys are having a rather intimate moment really quickly. So like, that's not gonna end badly. I mean, Antonio doesn't really seem to want to go back anytime soon, so I mean, I guess there's no real threat of them being separated anytime soon unless somebody finds out like, hey, a pure human suddenly showed up. Maybe we kidnapped them or something like that. What else? I mean, everything seems to be going swimmingly. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, hopefully. I mean, you can't just have all roses, sunshine and roses. But anyways, so what do you guys think? Do you like the story so far? Are you looking forward to more of this, or do you want a little bit more drama? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play the stars of your world, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself. They do have a Patreon, so if you would like to subscribe and support their project, you can do so, you know, link in the description. Presumably you get earlier access to builds of the stars of your world, or whatever else they might offer. Hopefully more. Maybe like works in progress or whatever. If you would like to support the channel and help support me, then you can become a channel member, you know, money monthly basis, videos earlier than usual, all that jazz. Also, Ko-fi, in case you want to donate through there, support through there, you know, like, subscribe, video, whatever. And Throne, yeah, so whatever. Anyways, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.